Hi guys, my name is Jackie Mijuskovic. I'm a senior at Flagler College and I've been on the softball team since my freshman year. The reason I was asked to do this video is because I have had some life experience recently that had to kind of teach me how to get over life after my sport, which again, softball. So for all the spring sports out there, first of all, I'm very, very sorry that your season was cut short, whether you're a senior or not. But I'm hoping to be able to prove to you guys that it's going to be okay, even though it doesn't seem like it right now. So just to give some background, I was towards the end of my junior season. We were playing UNCP in North Carolina, and I got into a pretty bad collision where one of my teammates and I were going after the same ball, and her knee came up at my nose as I was diving. So for a while I thought I just broke my nose, whatever, get a quick nose job and be back on the field really quickly. But as I got to my parents' car, because luckily they were there, the pain started to set in, adrenaline wore off, and I knew something was really, really wrong. And I remember just being in the most god-awful pain and saying to my mom, I don't even want to be alive to feel this. And when I was trying to calm down and stop crying, I was looking out the window and I saw all these people walking and shopping and going about their lives. And irrational, but it's what I felt. I was thinking, my world just turned upside down and none of these people care, none of these people know me. And although that seems like I just experienced a slap in the face, it's just the hard truth that no matter what you're going through, the world's going to keep on turning and the sun's going to come up. One of my really good friends, Tatum, always used to say, the sun's still going to come up and Walmart is still going to open. And that's just a very true statement. So we get to the first hospital, they run the CT scan and prove that I had a whole lot more wrong than just a broken nose. I had shattered like potato chips, most of the bones in my orbital region. My nose was completely demolished. I cracked my skull here, had a brain bleed, and was leaking cerebral spinal fluid from my nose. So from there, they airlifted me to CMC, Carolina Medical Center. And I remember going out to the helicopter and my eyes were starting to swell up at that point. But something told me to open them. So I kind of forced my eye open and I looked out and you could see all the city lights, all the stars. And it was just this really calming peace brought about me when I saw that. And for some reason, I wasn't nervous. I wasn't scared. I knew it was going to be okay. So get to the hospital, fast forward a few days, I'm out of the ICU, I'm getting prepped for surgery, and they basically go in, they cut you over top your head and get in there and fix everything. It was about a 5-hour surgery, and I remember you could feel my parents, my family that was there, just the stress and worry they felt was really, really saddening, but I was determined to show them that I was going to be okay. And in time I was. It was very lonely and sad in the hospital. I couldn't see, my eyes were swollen shut. I was obviously in a ton of pain, in and out of sleep all day long. And I remember the times that I was supposed to be sleeping, but I wasn't. Any footsteps or anything I heard by the door, I was just like begging that someone was going to walk in and entertain me or talk to me, just because I felt so alone. I didn't have my phone, and even if I did, I wasn't going to be able to look at it. So it was a pretty weird time, and I had a whole lot of time to think, am I ever going to play again? Am I going to even be the same? I had doctors telling me, we're going to get you looking as normal as possible. So 20-something years old, no one wants to hear that. And just in time, there was so many little successes that we celebrated, and things that I realized get taken for granted so often. Just feeling your feet hit the ground every morning, walking around, taking a shower by yourself. I was just out on the field, doing all these difficult, challenging things to put your body through. and excelling in my sport and having all this fun and making people laugh. And then the next thing I knew, I was hooked up to every type of machine there is, having to do breathing exercises, having to see if I could sit up in bed by myself, if I remembered my name. It was just a very strange time for me because it was all taken so quickly, and everything changed so quickly. And that just speaks to life goes fast, life doesn't wait. And sometimes you don't know why things happen. And it was difficult for me for a while. I was very angry because I couldn't understand how will I ever benefit from this? And I remember it was a very, very, dark time, feeling that life just handed me an unfair deck of cards and I just had to deal with it. And as we all know, we're not victims of circumstance as athletes. We don't make excuses. So in time, I just said to myself, I just need to be better than I was yesterday. So I finally get out of the hospital, I go back home, and, I have to see my friends and family that haven't seen me yet look at me, and you could just tell they're terrified because I looked nothing like myself. I didn't feel like myself. I definitely didn't sound like myself. And I truly had no idea what was next for me. I felt like I didn't know who I was. But during that time, I had people sending me flowers, cards, calling me, making all these posts about me. And there were so many beautiful things said about me. And the craziest thing was that pretty much none of them had anything to do with softball. And that spoke to me as just a reminder that I am more than this sport. And although it's a huge part of my day-to-day life, it doesn't define me. And there's life after it. I didn't think there was, but there is. And luckily, sports give us such a solid foundation as people, as professionals, as anything, to be able to move forward and, get over those hurdles and those challenges to come out better for it on the other end. And just always see the light in situations and, take something bad and make something good out of it. And that's something that will really, really benefit you during this time, because it is depressing, it is sad, it is boring and lonely. But we really need to remember who we are in times like this, what we stand for, and just remember that it's temporary and that it is going to be okay. Some things I did when I was sort of healing and getting over everything, I would actually go through my camera roll and it would make me laugh. And, I initially did it to serve as memory reminders because there were a lot of little things I would forget. But going back and looking at old pictures, old videos, just to make you smile, that brightens your day, makes you feel a little bit less alone. Pick up a new hobby. That's limited right now with everything going on, but paint, make jewelry, go try a new exercise you haven't tried before, an at-home workout, anything. Call an old friend, make amends with an old friend or family member. Just do something that is going to benefit you every single day and make you feel good. Because that's what's most important right now, is just making sure we're in a good headspace, and hopefully staying healthy physically so that we can still be the best version of ourselves once this is all over. Because I promise it's not going to last forever. And I know what it's like to feel like it's going to last forever, but it never does. My dad used to tell me when I thought it was going to rain outside because it was cloudy, he would say, "Well, Jack, not all clouds rain." And that's how we have to view this. Not all clouds rain. Not all bad situations have to necessarily be bad. So take this for what it is. Take it as a time for self-growth. Learn something new, learn a new skill, pick up a new hobby. Get outside, find a place of peace for you. That could be a lake, a church, an old trail you used to walk on, whatever it may be. Just do what you need to do to feel good. And I promise you guys that with the foundation we all have from sports and, the village that raised us, the village of sports, you're going to be able to handle this, because we've handled much worse things, and it can always be a lot worse than it is. So just keep in mind that you're going to come out better for it, and best of luck to everyone. And another big thank you to my softball team, who rooted for me every day, played for me every day. My family, all my friends that, were involved during that time specifically. The Flagler staff, everyone was so great. I had so many flowers and letters that were sent to me. And I just felt really taken care of and really loved. And that was probably the biggest metaphor for remembering that I am not just softball. So like I said, you guys, just remember your identity outside of the sport and just try to get better in some way every single day. I wanted to also thank all of the Flagler staff, anyone associated with Flagler really, but specifically the athletics department that rallied and rooted for me and vouched for me and my schoolwork that I hadn't finished yet. And just reminded me that I was loved and going to be taken care of with or without my sport. And of course, thank you to my team who rallied around me, whether I was there or not, and played for me every day and encouraged me and reminded me that no matter how I came back, I was still going to be on the team. I'm always going to be a softball player. I'm always going to be an athlete. And thank you to Coach Googe and Coach Kaylee, who came into my life at the perfect time, because I don't think that I would be the woman I am today if I didn't know them and if they didn't impact my life the way they did. So big thank you to you guys. I love all you guys, my parents, everyone who supported me and pushed me to be better after my accident. So thank you so much.